I think so. What is the difference between a queen and a queen consort? Because I've been thinking about obviously Camilla and the royal family and the whole soap opera that is the House of Windsor. The House of Windsor. What a soap opera. And I've been really reflecting on Camilla a lot. And as I have said, I mean, she's a very complex character. She's complex. Who isn't? I mean, I'm complex. I'd like to think I'm complex. I'm not complex, actually. I'm quite an open book. Mm. I'm not a Camilla type. They are complex women. These are the types of women that they're very formidable. You really there's something to behold, you see. And Camilla is particularly complex because I think she's unusually intelligent and she's unemotional. Do you know what I mean? And this is very important. This is why I'm not a Camilla because of my emotional, s- you know, character. You know what I mean? Mm, I'm having some hot chocolate. It's so good. Um, Camilla, Queen Elizabeth, before she died, issued a public statement that she wanted Camilla to be the Queen Consort. Conveniently, she was in her 90s or so when she said that. And she conveniently said that. It was so ridiculous to me. Like, it was so obvious that, you know, this really wasn't about what Queen Elizabeth cared. What did she care, honestly? She was asked to do that, in my opinion. It is my opinion that Queen Elizabeth was asked and urged to do that. This is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it, right? Now, why would they do that? Because, in my opinion, they had a wider agenda. Okay? Who is they? They is whoever they are. They know who they are, right? Now, it is my opinion that a part of this agenda is to soften the blow of making Camilla queen. It's kind of like doing it in a couple of different steps. You see, not just doing it like a rip off the band-aid like they did with taking away Frogmore from Harry, but nice and gentle like a massage so that people don't even know what hit them. So they did it in steps. First, she's queen consort. Right after the queen died, I mean, I heard in the media, I mean, again, you can't trust everything you hear in the media, but I have no reason to distrust this particular bit, that they found Queen Consort to be a cumbersome title, and they wanted to break that down to Queen. You see, it wasn't a big surprise to me, obviously, because it is true that Queen Consort, what is that? What does that even mean? Even I have raised this question. What are you talking about? A consort is almost like a concubine, isn't it? I mean, it's your lover. I mean, it's your consorting with whatever, you see. So Camilla was always intended to be queen. It's just a part of, the wider agenda. Now, what is the difference, though? What is the difference between a queen and a queen consort? You see, this is what people need to really be focused on, and not this nonsense with Meghan and Harry and, their ridiculous hatred and gripes. It's like, what's hitting you in the face, what's hitting you in the back, while you're busy focusing on things that you should not be focusing on. You need to focus on Camilla and Charles. What are they up to? Right? Is the difference between queen and queen consort a matter of semantics for Camilla and Charles? Or is there a wider agenda? And why isn't anybody in the press? I mean, forget the British press, because if Harry is correct, the British press is compromised, right? Where the royal family is concerned, there's some kind of quid pro quo. And in a way, look, I'm a businesswoman. Do I blame the royal family for that? Maybe not, because it was a matter of survival, right? Because if you had the press doing to the royal family what they're doing to Harry and Meghan, there would be no royal family. They cut a deal because they had to, because they're practical people, right? So it's not, I mean, whatever, right? That's a different video. But I don't expect the British press to focus on this thing with the Queen versus the Queen Consort. But what about the rest of the global press? What about the American press, for example? Right? The most influential, so to speak, in the world, whatever that means, because a lot of it is still owned by the same people who own the British press. Isn't that correct? I think. I don't know. What is his name? Rupert Murdoch or whatever. I mean, so okay, you don't expect like Fox News and stuff like that to raise these questions. What about CNN? What about ABC? What about NBC? Who owns those? I have no idea. But why isn't anybody focusing on this and talking about this and doing a documentary about this? Why do they want Camilla to be queen and not queen consort? Is it just a matter of semantics, or is there a broader agenda at play? If you go back to this, to the Settlement Act of 1701, they better start looking at that. They better start looking at that, and quick, because this is one of the flimsiest pieces of law or legislation I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the Act of Settlement is an act of the Parliament of England that settled the succession to the English and Irish thrones to only Protestants, which is now changed by a tweak. Boom, finished. The Parliament changed that in 2011 or 2013, something like that. More specifically, anyone who became a Roman Catholic or who married one became disqualified. Okay. And this had the effect of deposing the remaining descendants of Charles I, other than his Protestant granddaughter Anne, as the next Protestant in line to the throne was Sophia of Hanover, a granddaughter of James VI, etc. Okay, look. Apparently, this act basically says that the only the descendants of this woman Sophia of Hanover, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a historian, I have no idea. This is Wikipedia. But my understanding of this data is that descendants of this woman, Sophia of Hanover, would be eligible to succeed to the British throne. And okay, so it says here, succession to the British throne is determined by descent, gender, legitimacy, and religion under common law. The crown is inherited by a sovereign's children or by a childless sovereign's nearest collateral line. Okay, common law. I believe that's judge-made law, right? And the Bill of Rights of 1689 and the Settlement Act of 1701 restrict succession to the throne to the legitimate Protestant descendants of Sophia of Hanover who are in communion with the Church of England. Okay, so I've got news for you. I mean, that's not even the law anymore, because again, in 2011, 2013, they changed it to say that um, that Catholics are now allowed. You don't have to be a Protestant. Okay, you don't have to be a Protestant anymore. And they also tweaked it to say that you don't have to be male anymore. Like, if a sovereign has children and the oldest child is female, she can be the next monarch. And that was not the original law. Why does this matter? This matters because what is the difference between a queen and a queen consort? Okay. Basically, a queen is the ruler of a monarchy. This is according to Pure Wow. I don't know. I have no way to confirm this. Okay. Basically, a queen is the ruler of a monarchy who has inherited the role from a family member, like her husband, I guess. And with it, they become the head of state with major political and military powers. They are the face of the monarchy. This is a queen. Okay? On the other hand, a queen consort is simply the spouse of the reigning monarch, and they do not hold any of the same political influence that a queen does. Okay? If it helps to clarify things, Merriam-Webster defines the word consort as an associate or a spouse. Queens consort historically have been in charge of running the royal household, and in the case of Parker Bowles, she's the patron of many organizations, which she will likely continue to work with throughout the time as queen consort. Okay. But now she's not going to be queen consort, she's going to be queen. Is this just a question of semantics, or do we need to have the press educate us on what is really going on here and what likely is the broader agenda, and also look at the tweaks they made in 2011, 2013 to say that the oldest can be a girl after all of these centuries. And then again, who really is the biological father of both of Camilla Parker Bowles' children? It's a question. I'm not saying anything. I'm just asking a question. And I hope I have the right to do that. Who are their true biological parents?